hit that like button, share and subscribe. Remember, eagles flies with eagles. All right now, hit the like button, share and subscribe. This is Arthur Omer, and remember, eagles fly with eagles. Money! Money! Money, money, money! Money! Blessing flowing, money. Blessing, let the blessing flow. Money. Money. Let the Oh, it was such a happy occasion for Melody to get her last name changed. Finally, that ceremony was so beautiful. And so Miss Fletcher called Melody to the side, away from her ceremony, just to let her know that this man right here, Martell Hope's her ex, wasn't happy about her changing her last name. Now, what was going on in that sister mind? The reason that she felt like she could interrupt such a happy moment and focus on this man. This man had been a nightmare to this woman, and Miss Fletcher knows it. But we're talking about sisters. Why is it that we don't bond together as friends and have each other back? Because if we watch this man right here torture this woman on TV, right? Her castmate know the same thing, yet they favor this man right here, Martell. Let's go.
We love y'all too. Yes, Martell Hope, I am single, okay? Yes, I'm single. Yeah. What a name change ceremony.
So it says Kimmy Scott makes a mockery of Melody Cherie, Lee TV.
Martell name change ceremony. I'm a hope. I'm not having a name change ceremony. He's dropping the LT.
It's gonna be Martell Rock.
We love y'all too. Yes, Martell Hope, I am single, okay? Yes, I'm single. Yeah. What a name change ceremony. Martell name change ceremony. I'm a hope. I'm not having a name change ceremony. He's dropping the LT.
It's gonna be Martell Rogers.
Martell Hope.
You hear Kimmy making fun of it. Now, you see this sister don't have the other sister back. She's making fun of it. It's going to be a Martell Roger. She's making like Melody getting her last name changed. Sisters on this show, none of them have never had Melody back.
Y'all hear Kimmy and Pillsbury Noble over there. God damn. They be owning that.
Look at that stomach. The girl look like she pregnant, but she's not pregnant, you guys. She got a BBD and all the fat shifted to the belly.
We love y'all too. Yes, Martell Hope, I am single, okay? Yes, I'm single. Yeah. What a name change ceremony. Martell name change ceremony.
So that name change ceremony meant so much to Melody. She didn't want nothing this man had, not even his last name. But they know how dramatic that was for Melody to have to walk around here with his last name. And then you have his mistress always called a host. calling everybody hoax in her family over there. So Melody did not want to be attached to that last name. Now, he got the nerve to say that ain't nothing good attached to Melody last name, Roger, when the only thing you see that the last name that this man had and his family was mugshot after mugshot. Yes. And then if you look at Melody background, education and entrepreneurship, that's what you see under her in her last name.
I'm a hoe. I'm not having a name change ceremony. He's dropping the LT.
It's gonna be Markel Rogers.
Martel Ho. Y'all hear Kimmy and Pillsbury Doughboy.
I'll say it for the real. Well, that's something exposed, but the hypocrisy of Kenny, this is what Melody getting ready to say. Kenny said that Martell is a good man and that Arian, she was not going to call him a side chick.
Right. I hear Tisha and Kimmy, but to be honest, I think both parties have fault, right? I don't think there's nobody totally innocent in the situation. You know what? I wonder if some of these women are triggered because they haven't been able to put a face maybe with what their men are doing.
Yeah.
And then they're seeing your face and they feel like you took him from her.
I hope not, but it seems like it's giving a little bit of that.
Giving a little bit of triggered, ain't it?
Yeah. But I'm glad you're not triggered. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, you would feel,
It's funny you mention that. What's so interesting to me is kind of the hypocrisy of it all, right?
It is.
They seem to be so strongly opinionated by you and a person. He was not married to this girl.
Yeah.
Didn't have kids together. Weren't even engaged. And damn sure didn't have no 14-year relationship.
No.
Like I would.
So we look at this situation. Why do everybody want us to have sympathy for Destiny? Destiny was married, y'all. Moses ain't never went nowhere. Nobody talked about her being a married woman cheating. Moses being a married man cheating. They both were cheating on each other, but nevertheless, he didn't marry her, like she said. But see, Kimmy is like picking a side, picking a bone, because Kimmy really don't like you, Melody. She made fun of your last name change. Yes, you remember when you went in that spa, they didn't even celebrate your last name change with you? First of all, she started out that she was taken back because she wasn't invited. Why would she invite you when you going around saying that her man is a good man and you see the trauma and the hell he taking her through? Then you taking up for the mistress that's calling and torturing her every day by way of internet. She's just a bully. And so you say that you're not going to. So how do you like it the other night? Y'all know recently he just got a DUI charge, right? Her husband, he went home all night long. So is that what you're scared of? You scared to be identified as a married woman, your husband messing around on you. So you gotta attach that to this young lady.
all right.
Sure did. This is Empress the Radio.
That conversation out of context, I don't care for that. At this juncture where Mel and I are, I try to make sure that she knows I'm there for her. And I do realize that what he did and has done and continues to do from time to time is shitty.
No, you didn't. You had a knife and you stuck it to her back. During that time, she was freshly divorced. She bought in Basement Billy, y'all. Just keep it real. She bought in Basement Billy. This man had been spreading around on the internet. Her daughters spreading around on the internet. He claimed nude pictures of her mama. So she brought him on that show to embarrass Miss Van and Mel. Yes, you did. You brought Basement Billy on the show, and then you made fun of her out there at the pool with Martell. We're getting her name changed. That wasn't enough. You try to shame her after the celebration. You try to shame her of becoming a single mama with her children. Yeah, how's that gonna feel? They're going up to the school. They're gonna have different last names. Everybody gonna know that you're that voice when you've been a single mama all through your child. While your grown son, is in college now. You done raised him as a single mother all through school, and you want to put the dagger on this woman back, make her feel bad by becoming a single mother with your old tail instead of raising this young lady up and embracing this lady, let her know that it's going to be okay. No, and then not to mention, she made you tell you. You said this man was still married when you guys were together. And you did the same thing with Trish. With Trish, you did the same thing with Trish. Trish came through, you had the nerve to be so judgmental of Trish, and you went through the same thing. You were with him for many years while he was married to that woman. It was on papers. And then he did it all them years y'all lived together. All them years, you still was a single woman when he divorced his wife. And then all the reason he married you because you young lady, was on TV. Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's right, Melody. They hypocrite. Melody, that's right. Call her out. Tell her like it is. Melody, tired of these people on this show, man. So now I'm listening at Marques. He talks about he and Trish getting married at the age of 17, 18. Trish was 18. He was 19. They were still teenagers. Then he goes on, and the family goes on to warn him about all that trauma. If they were afraid that he was not going to be able to deal with it. So, and then Trisha herself just wouldn't open up about the trauma she has went through. But this thing, does a trauma bond ever go away? He said, how long do a man have to deal with trying to cope with an individual like this? How long? Because what happens, whatever this trauma bond, they say she got anger. It often develops from a repeated cycle of abuse and positive reinforcement. What I'm saying right there, that described Trisha. They said that Trisha have a repeated cycle of abuse in these men. She has a bad temper. It was so much till Ken said he had to leave the house, y'all. Okay, so let me go ahead on. Did I read it? Let's see. Okay. Does a trauma bond ever go away? Healing from trauma bond can take some time, but it's possible with support and treatment. When you leave an abuser, the trauma bond is broken and you can begin to heal. What if that's what he had to do? Because we do know that Melody had to do this. They're saying that Trisha is a female Martell. So we can understand that issue about Trisha, about Melody. We saw the trauma that Martell sent Melody through. But let's keep it
We've been together since high school. I'm 38, I'll be 39 years old. We were together from the age of 17 years old to I left at 34 years old. Okay? So how old were you two when y'all got married? I was 19, she was 18. My son was born when she was 19. Trish was living with me in high school. I would take her to class, and I was living in my own apartment. Trish and I, my father and my family have, we literally, my father and my family's support has been there just as much as her family when they were there. But then when they passed away, my family really stepped up. So we're all, and I'm gonna be honest, I know Trish more than anybody, and I promise you, whether Ken's there or the next guy's there, I'm gonna always be there for her. No matter what, despite this TV show, despite all of this, I think there was always a lack of communication, a lack of respect, a lack of accountability, and I was that. I truly, honestly know in my heart, I was that man that was really trying at a young age that never, ever, they told me don't get married, but I knew that was the right thing to do. I knew it was
pregnant. She was pregnant. That's why you got married.
Yeah, and my son was not an accident. Like we went through each other's prom. When I decided that, I said, okay, I want to have a baby. And I want to have mind you, I don't want to tell you, this was pre-social media. This was before Facebook came out. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. I grew up in the church. You know, we actually met and we talked about the Bible. That's what made me want to be with Trish, because I knew she came from a very difficult background. And I grew up in the church. So I felt like we was reading the Bible together. And I felt like, man, this might be so. But I'm also, my mindset is also 17 years old, 18. I don't know what's to come in the future. I don't know all the challenges. I don't know, the fact that the world is about to connect in a way that you can literally have a relationship with anybody you want in the world.
So this man is very intellectual, you guys. And Carlo, you know that production did not edit this man right. They edited as if he was a bird brain.
And you can pick and choose. And I think that's what's wrong and why marriage is not there, because we have too many options. At that moment in time, I chose her, right? And I stuck with it for years, and I really, really, really was trying, my best. And I think because of the lack of communication, and it was like pulling teeth from her, honestly, Dr. Heavenly, and it was like pulling teeth. And eventually, as a man, it wears on you, because I'm a Libra. I'm very much a loving, affectionate, passionate. She's an Aquarius. She comes from a military family. My family gave hugs. My grandma's in there right now. I'll introduce you. She's 95 years old. She's going to pray for you right now. Not to talk bad on her family, but Trish didn't necessarily come from that. Like my mama said, you didn't come from trauma, son. And I thought the thing she was...
So you didn't come from trauma. This girl had a whole lot of trauma.
I thought the thing she was...
So you didn't come from trauma. This girl had a whole lot of trauma. Let's see what it says. What does breaking a trauma bond feel like, you guys? Trauma bond withdrawal can manifest in somatic symptoms, meaning they can't sleep, such as headache, fatigue, lack of appetite, trouble sleeping, or nightmare. Yes. Can a trauma bond turn into love? Yeah, that's what happened between Ken and she. That's what happened between he and she when they were teenagers. This bond, can a trauma bond turn into love? The bond is formed within the content of an abuse, where manipulation and fear play significant roles. And we can see that with Ken. She manipulates Ken. Every time Ken asks her a question, she gets angry and he has to back off. It is unlikely for a trauma bond to transform into a genuine love and lead to a healthy relationship without significant changes in the dynamic and behavior of both individuals involved. So we can say that this young man right here, he was young. They was teenagers when they got married. And if she did not take care of all that trauma she went through in her household, it carries on from relationship to relationship, from generations to
the conversations
generations.
And the conflict was cool. And I thought maybe like I could be around this because I had grown up. And I also felt sorry for her. And then I also felt like we can work through this and we can grow through this. But then after years and years, and I want to tell you, for 17 years, I never left that house for one day. When I left, I never spent any time outside of the house for any time.
How old were you when you decided to leave the house though and move to Atlanta?
Okay. Let's spell up the timeline, because I think the timeline is very. So me and Trish, we got married May 19th, 2000.
So he's just going through the timeline of when they got married and when he left. And also a complex in between time that she and Ken met. They were still together. He said they got into an altercation, you guys, twice. A phone altercation, and I think the other one was a physical altercation. But as you can see, if she doesn't get no help, they say it is unlikely for a trauma bond to transform into genuine love. There's so much in between trying to reach that person, trying to get that person to get over all that trauma and lead to a healthy relationship without significant changes in the behavior. And both. This is your Black Excellence These are Black inventors. I love me some Patricia Bell. This woman invented laser eye surgery, you guys. So Patricia Bell and Marie Van Britton Brown. She is the one that did the security system. We have these black women that's just really doing a lot of great things. Black excellent. Salute to black female excellent. Patricia Bell and Marie Van Britton.
Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight 10 Black women inventors.
Welcome to blackexcellence.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
We here at Black Excellence specialize in illuminating the experience and contributions of African Americans, which is the foundation of our channel. We are particularly keen on pointing out the ingenuity, innovation, and creativity of Black women who have transformed this world in ways that few can believe. It is essential for the Black community, as well as white America, to understand the impact of Black women pioneers, entrepreneurs, and inventors from our past. Our aspiring grade school student will not read much about these women in the history books, so we hope you take the time to celebrate these trailblazers who may inspire them and help propel their dreams forward. In this original Black Excellence video, we will be featuring 10 African American women whose inventions changed the world. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, Patricia Bath, pioneer in ophthalmology. Patricia Bath's name is associated with many amazing feats and pioneering works from childhood till her death in 2019. Bath was born to Rupert Bath and Gladys Bath on November 4, 1942 in Harlem, New York. Although her parents were not rich, they encouraged her to pursue academic interests and explore new cultures. Her interest in science peaked when she got a chemistry set as a gift. She worked hard in her academic pursuits and made discoveries that earned her the Mademoiselle's Magazine Merit Award in 1960. Bath earned her bachelor's degree from Hunter College in 1964 and her medical degree with honors from Howard University in 1968. Bath began to pursue a fellowship in ophthalmology at Columbia University. During the course of her studies there, she discovered that African Americans were twice as likely to suffer from blindness and 8 times more likely to suffer from glaucoma. These findings motivated her to invent devices and systems to change the outcomes. One of her brilliant inventions is the laser phaco probe, for which she became the first African American female doctor to hold a patent for a medical device. The device, which was completed in 1986, provided a less painful and precise treatment of cataracts using laser technology, and she received the patent for it in 1988. With the device, Bath was able to restore the sight of people with about 30 years of blindness, thus pioneering laser eye surgery as known today. She also pioneered community ophthalmology clinics during her residency years and co-founded the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in 1976, which established that eyesight is a basic human right. Bath won many prestigious awards in her lifetime and continued to advocate for innovation.
From the #1 medical aesthetic skincare brand, go beyond injections alone with new
for innovation and telemedicine. Number 2, Marie Van Britton Brown, pioneer in surveillance systems. Brown was born in Queens, New York on October 22, 1922. She worked as a nurse and was married to Albert Brown, an electronics technician. The crime rate in their neighborhood was high and police response time was slow.
So they were a power couple, you guys. Both of the Browns invented this, the security home system. You guys know that is very popular. It has transferred all the way down to cameras on your cell phone.
Coupled with the unfixed hours of the police force, pushed Marie to look for ways to increase the level of personal security in her home. She needed to create a system that would allow her to know who was at her home and contact relevant authorities as quickly as possible. That idea birthed the invention of the first home security system and the basis of modern surveillance systems, remote control doors, and push-button alarms. Brown's security system comprised of peepholes, a camera, monitors, a two-way microphone, and an alarm button that could be pressed to contact the police immediately. The peepholes were placed at 3 levels on the front door, the top one for tall persons, the middle one for people of average height, and the bottom one for children. A camera was mounted at the opposite side of the door with the ability to slide up and down through the peepholes and project the image on a monitor through a wireless system. The microphone was to enable her to speak to the person at the door, and the person could speak back. If the person was perceived as an intruder, the alarm button will alert the police at once. But if the person was a friend, the door could be opened by remote control. Marie and Albert Brown filed for a patent on August 1st, 1966, under the title Home Security System Utilizing Television Surveillance, and it was granted on December 2nd, 1969. Brown's invention gained her well-deserved recognition, including an award from the National Scientist Committee and an interview with the New York Times on December 6, 1969. Brown resided in New York with her family of 3 until her death on February 2, 1999. Number 3, Miriam Benjamin, inventor of the signal chair. Miriam Benjamin was born as a free person on September 16, 1861, to parents Francis and Eliza Benjamin in Charleston, South Carolina. Her family moved to Boston, Massachusetts, with the hope for better schooling. She attended high school in Boston, then moved to Washington, D.C., where she worked as a school teacher and a federal clerk. She later enrolled into Howard University Law School. While Miriam worked as a school teacher, she invented the honk and signal chair for hotels. She thought of a way to get the attention of the waiters in a hotel from the comfort of your chair. The chair had 2 components, a buzzer button and a light signal. When the button is pressed, it would buzz at the waiter's station, and a light on.
So y'all can see this invention has led to other things like on the airplanes where they get that design for, wherever you go traveling, you will see chairs where you can light up, where you can call for help. So this came from
the chair would let the
Miriam
waiter
Benjamin.
know who wanted service. In her patent notes, she said the chair would serve to reduce the expense of hotels by decreasing the number of waiters and attendants.
So shout out to Miriam Benjamin, inventor of this wonderful chair.
Comfort of guests, and to obviate the necessity of